So right here we got the random Pokemon generator, and I will link this down below for y'all to use if you want to. And I actually have set some filters, so we're not going to use any of these regions because I'm not sure if I'll actually have access to all of them. Like, there are Paldean Pokemon, but I don't know if all of them are in just yet. Well, really I should also eliminate Galar, but I think it's going to be fine. So the majority are in the game. We're going to include legendaries for this one. This will probably be the only time I'm actually going to use Ubers for some time. But you know, it's gonna be fun, so I'm not gonna restrict myself here. So let's go ahead and generate. Okay, that's our team right there, so I'm gonna build that up right now. In this battle we are taking on XX Cake Monster, and I do want to apologize for not uploading in quite some time. You know, I've been busy, and it probably will stay that way, although I mean, hopefully soon I'll be able to kind of get back into it. So anyways, yes, this is a randomized team. I'm actually going to show y'all proof that this was randomized. And to keep it simple, this team kind of sucks, to be honest. It's not really that good. Although it does actually have some cool traits. So this right here, my Rainiclus that I'm going to be using, I don't know if I pronounced that right, I'm sorry. It's going to be setting up Trick Room because there's so many slow Pokemon in this team that could benefit, like this and Rhyperior and really Gigalith. And I do have some speed, and I actually messed up. Why does this have a custard berry? It should have been a weakness policy, but that's all right. So to lead, we're definitely going to use Gigalith. That's actually our lead, and it is actually kind of fun to have a, you know, distinct lead Pokemon. So he's going to send out a Charizard. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a Charizard Y. And it's fine that he goes for his Solar Beam here because we can Stone Edge or we can Explosion. I actually think I will go for the Explosion here instead of the Stone Edge because a lot of the times some of these players won't have a fully PvP trained Charizard, so there's a good chance that I pick up a KO with Explosion. And really, like, the Custard Berry only, you know, works for one turn. So how it works is you know, you set up your start rocks and you have the ability Sturdy, which brings you down to 1 HP, and the Custard Berry lets you move first when you're below about 25% of your HP. So hopefully it works right in this game. It could also be bugged. I wouldn't be surprised because I've never seen anyone use a Custard Berry before in this game, so it may not work out, which would be a bit annoying, but we're gonna find out soon. But let's set up our start rock. So yeah, the Solar Beam does come out as anticipated. It should bring me down to close to 1 HP. It might actually not be a one-shot. Okay, it is because it's a critical hit. But we have Sturdy, which is nice to see. And in most cases, actually, I would run Sand Force, or not. Yeah, I think it's called Sand Force. The one that gets us. Yeah, Sand Stream is what it's called. But the problem is in this game, it's not available because it was only added in Gen 7. So we only have Sturdy and the other option to work with. So let's see if the Custard Berry works. Okay, nice. It does work. That's awesome. So let's see this one shot. I hope it does. I really do. Yes, it does indeed one shot. Because I mean, we're not gonna outspeed anything after that, unless we get Trick Room up. But I wouldn't really want to have to count it. So now we got our Star Rocks up. We are definitely in an advantageous position. And I'm looking at Poliwrath here because we have Swift Swim in tandem with Rain Dance. So we have a mixed attacker here actually. You know, I have the details here. It's not really, you know, it's probably not the ideal set. I actually believe that most sets are special attackers because it has, you know, better. Okay, Ludicolo, interesting. This is not a matchup we want to stay in on, so this might be Lurantis right here. Although I'm not too sure if that's the move I want to make. Maybe Regidrago. He could have Ice Beam, although there's a good chance he might not. I feel like Lurantis makes a lot of sense here. Since I can just fire off a couple of Leaf Storms, it should do quite a lot of damage. And it should also resist his Solar Beam. It's definitely an interesting dynamic here. Using a Water type with Solar Beam, so that you so like on your playthrough team, this is probably this guy's playthrough team. That makes a lot of sense because now Ludicolo can function at a better rate because we can now use its grass type attacks, because normally you'd see this function in the rain. So I don't know how to explain it, but it definitely is an interesting dynamic. It's gonna withdraw here, and one of the fun things about Lurantis is that it has the ability, contrary So that's actually gonna let me get an attack boost every time I land a hit and get a special attack drop. It's definitely interesting. It's like Superior, but a lot worse, purely because it's just slow. Like if this was fast, it would be a pretty good Pokemon. So the Inferno is out here. I don't know what I want to do. I feel like Randomized makes a lot of sense. We can set up the Trick Room on this. It's probably gonna go for a Fire type attack. Well, really, Rhyperior would have made a lot of sense here if we had a weakness policy. Then we can kind of bait out like a Mach Punch or something, and then get like the weakness policy attack boost, and then we could have, you know, gone for a sweep if you got a Rock Polish off, because I mean, Mega Horn will hit the Ludicolo, Earthquake takes out Monferno. I mean, like, really, Rhyperior is a really hard-hitting Pokemon too, so it can definitely function. It's not really the most convenient strategy, to say the least, because you'd have to take a super effective attack before you can actually function properly. So, you know, I wouldn't personally recommend it. Although the reason I have that set on Rhyperior is because I already have Gigalith as more of a tanky Pokemon. So I didn't really want to have like Star Rock on Rhyperior too. It's not really going to do much for me. So the Metagross is going to come out here. Also shiny, which is pretty cool. Although that's not really going to be an ideal switch for this guy, because my Shadow Ball will be doing a lot of damage. I don't think it's going to be enough to one-shot, but it should certainly give us quite a lot of progress here. And actually it is enough to one-shot, so maybe this guy doesn't have good IV investment in that Metagross, but we will take that, and we do also have speed now. Okay, so Raichu's gonna come out. I'm gonna discapitalize and go for a Psychic here. So that's gonna do quite a lot of damage with the Life Orb. In fact, it is enough to one-shot. Dang, did not know Randomized was that strong. But I mean, we do actually have Magic Guard, which is another benefit, because now we're not gonna be taking Life Orb recoil damage. So let's fire off a Psychic right here. It's gonna do quite a lot of damage to the Ludicolo. So he does actually survive, but he's gonna go for the Solar Beam, and that's not gonna work because the Sunlight has expired. So we're gonna pick up this KO. Trick Room's probably gonna end again, but we can set up another round of Trick Room and then, you know, get some of our slower Pokemon back in the game. Gonna go back into the Monferno here. And it's gonna take more chip damage from the Star Rocks, which is probably gonna be permanent too. The only problem though with this team, once again, is that it is really slow. So you know, it's not really ideal for revenge killing, especially against Pokemon like this, because if I had something like Noivern, that would work really good in this team. Instead of like, let's say Rhyperior, then I could come in and I could just finish off by using like a Choice Spect Hurricane that should not miss in the rain. It would be a really fun dynamic, but unfortunately we don't have that available, so, you know, we gotta work with what we have. So this will finish off the Inferno. Potentially this could actually be a Randomized sweep. Randomized, God, I hate having to pronounce it. Okay, Glaceon comes in. This should be instantly KO'd by Rhyperior, but and even probably Poliwrath to an extent. So I'm not in the slightest concerned. Yeah, that's fine. Gonna go for Bite. Okay, interesting. I've never actually seen someone use that to a level of success like that. But we do pick up the KO here, so that right there is gonna be GG. Good game. In this battle, we are taking on Slera. It looks like a pretty similar team to the last guy we faced, actually. So yeah, we're gonna go for the same setup we went for earlier, and I actually did correct it now. The Rhyperior has a weakness policy, which is nice. So let's get the Gigalith in, and you know, we're gonna do what we did last time, which was setting up our Start Rocks right here, and you know, doing what we like to do. So actually, I wouldn't say that this is a good matchup here for us, because I don't believe that Earthquake will be enough to one-shot, but it's alright. We don't have to. Yeah, he's gonna go for a Bullet Punch. Not necessarily the move I would have made. It could be an intelligent maneuver here, because he might fire off a Meteor Mash after this. Although I don't know that's gonna be enough to do significant damage. No, it's not. Let's see how much Earthquake does. Not enough to one-shot. Hopefully he goes for like another Bullet Punch here, so we can get below 25% HP. Hyper Beam is definitely wild. I don't know if we can actually get Custap Berry activation, because you know, we're not below 25%. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to switch out here. So I'd rather save Gigalith for later. It could be used as like a sacrifice, for example. So let's get the Poliwrath in here, and we'll definitely set up our Rain Dance, because close combat surely will be enough to one-shot Ninja in most cases. So Water Shuriken comes out here. There's a chance that Gigalith could have actually survived that, but I wouldn't want to have to go for that gamble, so it's alright. Now with the Rain Dance, we have Swift Swim on this Poliwrath, so we're gonna get a good speed boost there. And so Lombre comes out, which would actually be kind of annoying. It's gonna disrupt our plans for sure, but you know, I don't think it's too big an issue. Now if he has like Giga Drain, that could you know, cause it to be a bit annoying. Dang. Okay, that might have been a smart play there. He actually benefits from the rain significantly. But let's just go for an Ice Beam and see how much damage that does. Shouldn't be a one-shot. Okay, yeah, that's still pretty good damage. So Bubble Beam comes out here. That's not going to do too much. So we're going to fire off a close combat here, because that should finish off the Lombre. And then, you know, after that, maybe we can get off a Z move, because a Z, you know, Hydro Vortex coming off of Hydro Pump in the rain should do insane amounts of damage to whatever tries to switch into this. So, you know, I'm definitely excited to find out what that will be. So yeah, we do pick up the KO here. It's not that important of a KO. Lombre is not necessarily the strongest Pokemon that you will face, but you know, we will take what we can get. So let's see what he goes for. I like the poses that we're composing here. It's definitely quite fun to look at. Okay, so Mewtwo should be a good Pokemon to receive this Hydro Vortex. I'm curious and excited to see if it will survive or not. So yeah, here comes the Z move animation. I do really like the shiny actually. It's not the most beautiful shiny by any means, but it's a really fun one with the green. It's interesting to see, to say the least. So yeah, Mewtwo's gonna get hit pretty hard. Hopefully a one-shot, but it might not be. We'll see. It is in fact a one-shot. I don't know if the critical hit mattered or not, but we'll take that. And the rain is still in activation, so we should have the speed and, you know, a really powerful Hydro Pump that will come off of the Poliwrath. The question is, do I? Okay, so now she traced the Swift Swim, so we don't even really have speed anymore. So we may as well actually switch out to something else. I'm gonna go to Randomized, because I feel like that makes a lot of sense here, since you know, we can set up our Trick Room and we can do super effective damage with Shadow Ball. So Dazzling Gleam comes off. It's actually quite a hard hit. Let's get the Trick Room up. Magical Leaf, yeah, that's fine. And now we can fire off a Shadow Ball, which should do quite a lot of damage to this Gardevoir right here. And one of the nice, you know, features of Rhyperior is the Solid Rock ability, and what that does is it allows Rhyperior to take super effective hits a lot better. I think it's about it takes about 75% damage from them, so it's definitely really useful and interesting to work with. So let's get a Focus Blast off here. It should do quite a lot of damage to the Incineroar if it lands. Yeah, that's actually a one-shot right there, which is nice to see. Randomized is probably one of the strongest Pokemon that we got in this team. Like, overall, it really functions nicely. And it should be able to take out Greninja too, actually. Yeah, let's go ahead and finish it off. Really, what happens is we just get Gigalith in, you know, do quite a lot of damage, and then Randomized tends to finish everything off and clean up the game for us. So the Dynamax should probably allow him to survive. This should be basically the equivalent of a neutral hit here. He actually outspeeds. I'm not sure how that works at all. Maybe Trick Room ended, or maybe the rain kind of bypasses those. I actually don't know, but that right there is going to be GG. Good game.